Season's greetings, Alaska, from Washington, D.C. We're trying to wrap things up here in the nation's capital. For the end of the year, I'll give a little bit of update of what's happening. I know what's happening back home. It's cold, really cold in a lot of places, a ton of snow in a lot of places. So stay warm, stay safe. I personally can't wait to get home with my wife and daughters. They're all back home in Anchorage now. But just want to give you a sense of something that I saw yesterday. I just wanted to do a real big shout out to. I was over at what's called Henderson Hall. That's the headquarters of the United States Marine Corps, doing my semi-annual combat physical fitness test. Pretty sore this morning, but Henderson Hall is tucked up right against Arlington Cemetery. And what I saw was this breathtaking display of American patriotism and volunteerism, wreaths across America. Every tombstone in the entire expanse of Arlington had a beautiful Christmas wreath on each tombstone. Just remarkable, powerful, beautiful, reminding us of the spirit of the season, the spirit of sacrifice that Arlington represents. And I just wanted to share that with everybody. Very meaningful, really put me in the Christmas spirit. I'm wearing my Christmas tie here. But getting a lot done here in the Senate. Last week in particular, we passed finally the National Defense Authorization Act. That's the big bill that authorizes the funding for our military and sets policies. It's going to continue. What I've been focused on my whole Senate career is a significant military buildup in Alaska. The Coast Guard bill was also included in that. And that's really good for Alaska, good for our economy, good for companies and workers, but really importantly, good for our nation's defense to continue to build up the most strategic place in the world, our state. And that happened last week. Another bill that passed of mine that I was excited about on a more somber topic, of course, which is my Power Act 2.0. This is the bill that provides pro bono legal services for survivors and victims of sexual assault and domestic violence. This was a pilot program. Thousands and thousands of survivors got legal assistance because of this bill. So we made it permanent, and that's going to be signed into law by the president. So I'm very excited about that. And another issue that's a tough issue back home, I have a bill, my Salmon Task Force bill, to get the federal government to finally figure out with the best scientists, best minds, and Alaskans, of course, to figure out what's happening with our very weak salmon runs in certain parts of the state, particularly the interior, southeast, the king salmon runs. So I'm hopeful that this is going to pass the Senate. It passed the Senate last week. Hopeful it's going to be signed into law here soon, but that's important. What is happening, and then how can we address this really big challenge? Fighting on a couple other issues that are unresolved. Every single day, my team working closely with the whole delegation on the Willow project. This is an enormously important project, energy, oil and gas project on the North Slope in NPRA. So important for our state, so important for America, to be honest. Disappointed, as usual, with the Biden administration's foot dragging on this, slow rolling it. Have another meeting in the White House tomorrow on this. And hopeful we're finally going to get a resolution where we can start building this project. 2,500 jobs estimated in Alaska. We got to be getting energy from America, not our adversaries like Venezuela and Saudi Arabia and Iran. Just makes no sense. And then more of a niche issue, but you may have seen I've been on the floor really trying to pound through this issue of the Camp Lejeune Marines and their families who got sick by drinking the water that was contaminated in Camp Lejeune many, many years ago. We passed legislation on that. Unfortunately, a lot of the payouts seem to be going more to law firms than to sick Marines and their families. I think that's outrageous, and I'm fighting that one every day too. The money needs to go to the sick Marines and their families, not the lawyers who are, you may have seen, running billions of dollars worth of ads, and really unscrupulous, very disappointing. We're trying to fix that. But stay tuned on all those. My main point here is to wish you and your family, from me and my family, my wife Julie, our daughters, Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I am so looking forward to getting home. Hopefully I'll see some of you back in Alaska soon, but I hope you have a blessed holiday season surrounded by friends and families and the ones you love. Merry Christmas.